Hi guys, and welcome to Pub Talk. Thanksgiving special, this fucking thing. Okay, that was our...
I thought we were going to win the whole time.
I can't talk with it on, it doesn't
can't,
fit my fucking round face.
I actually can't hear you that
Yeah,
well.
exactly. So anyway, right, we'll put them there. So first of all, let's address the elephant in the room. Dan, you are drinking today, yes?
Cheers.
Cheers. That's fantastic.
That's not bad. Oh, fire.
Look, you said you were, so
Air of the dog, bud. Heard you had a big one last night.
listen. It's the only way I'm going to get through this fucking thing is by drinking more. That's what they say, it's medical. Anyway, so Dan, I find it funny that on a week with a holiday traditionally based on overeating, you were the lightest you've been in some time, I imagine.
That's actually why I did it. I was like, originally, because Geordie, the fight dietitian's like coming over. He's coming over for Brad's fight and Kai's fight. So I was like, oh, I'll do it when he's here and he can watch. And then I got invited to a Thanksgiving meal or Thanksgiving lunch, and I was just like, well, I want to get it out of the way before that.
Yeah.
So I did it this week, so I can enjoy my Thanksgiving week.
Oh, that was smart and well planned of you. I saw you on Ariel's show, which, I mean, the betrayal I felt by seeing you on another man's show, it was like watching my wife fuck my brother while my parents were watching. But
What? He's my guy.
Yeah,
he hit me up for an interview.
Yeah,
His timing is always impeccable. Man.
Well, he's yeah, of course, because you put the thing up, so he saw that. But I didn't.
I must have been announced. The sub radio boys tried to snake him. It was like the night before. It was like the night before I did Ariel the next morning, and they hit me up on that night. They're like, "We'll do it now." You know, like we'll jump on a call whenever you're ready. Dan, and I was like, I can't do it, boys. I was like, Ariel's got dibs. I was like, I'm not. I think I did it to him last time too.
Oh man, poor
When
bastard.
they hit me up, and I was just like, oh, the sub radio boys want to chat. Had a chat to them, and then Ariel was on my case in the morning, like, oh.
So see, luckily that's not really.
You gotta.
Yeah, it's not really an area of the business, like the media side, that I'm like too
Well,
big
it's like
about.
different. It's because I know everyone by like first name basis, and
Yeah.
I don't know. To me, it's not like you're talking to the media.
Yeah.
When like Ariel hits me up, or the sub radio boys, or you, like they hit me up, and you're like, hey, we just asked you if you. I'm just like, oh, my Meg wants to chat on camera. That's like all it is to me. So it's not like, oh, I've got an interview tomorrow morning. Like I was just like, to me, it's just talking to your mates.
Yeah.
Like it's just like a very relaxed thing.
I mean, I couldn't make it more relaxed if I tried.
I try to take the politics of the whole thing, like as much out of it as possible.
It's
But you can't. You're gonna end up pissing someone off.
all right. I think most people get it. It's a bit of a fucking snake pit, the old media game, every now and again. Like people get a bit sly, but regardless, you cut to featherweight. I didn't watch the interview with Ariel because I was helping him move house. So because I'm a good guy.
Because you were pissed off.
Okay, so I was just
Pissed off about the whole thing.
I was literally at home.
You couldn't
like,
stand watching.
ripping your pictures off the wall.
You
Like, I can't
You
believe
were spewing it. You're like,
Pub Talk, Dan.
show's cancelled.
Right, that's it. If you want to talk to other men, wait, what? No, but how was the cut to featherweight?
That was good. Like it's not. I mean,
That
it wasn't-
whiskey has fucking hit me. That was such a bad. That was so bad.
It's your idea. You can't even hit me up about your idea.
Yeah. Anyway.
I sipped it. You shot it. I saw Connor's tweet where he says you don't shot it.
Yeah.
What are you doing, bud? What are you doing?
I have another one in a minute. But so, I saw the reaction to your cut down. Like, lots of fans were kind of freaking out about it almost. Like, oh, what's he doing? He's going to be, put himself through this. It's not healthy. All this stuff. But if I'm right in saying the PI's involvement makes it a whole different thing, right? Or no?
Yeah, like it's definitely not. Nah, it's not. That test is not for me. It's not. I did a test cut to see if I could make it.
Okay.
Like I know I can make it. Like because I know like what was going on back when I used to make it and what now. Like the science of the whole thing has come like a very long way. But it was I worked very closely with like Charles and Clint at the PI. The fight dietitian there, like these guys are the best at this in the world. Like these are the most advanced people in this specialized field of cutting weight and making weight in the world. So I obviously did it it's not like I just took a guess. So I was like, oh, I had a guess, like a full, like body composition scanning at the PI. Like I took advantage of the situation. Like I'm here in Las Vegas, I got time to kill. I used the all of that technology and knowledge at the UFC PI, and we did like a body composition test before the Makhachev fight, just because they wanted to see where I sit. I didn't see the results of that.
Yeah.
And then after the fight, I just hit up Charles at the UFC and was like, so about that composition test, like where do I sit? And he told me I sit like right in the middle. So I'm at like the bottom of lightweight and then like the top end of featherweight. So it's like you can go either way. So it's not like I did it and I was like bang in the middle. If I would have done that body composition testing and it was like, nah, you're a good size lightweight or could even go, like if I would have done that test and it would have been like, nah, you can go to welterweight, then maybe I would have tried that.
Yeah.
But the test said you're in the middle of lightweight and featherweight, as I thought I was, like personally, from not even struggling to make that weight back when I did make that weight. So it was like, man, it was 2 weeks. It was like 1 week of diet and then like a mock fight week.
Yeah.
Like last week I was doing a water load and that kind of thing. And then it's just, I'm the exact same weight as I am at lightweight. It's just like, for lightweight, all I have to do is like diet down fight week, step on a scale, and that's
it.
Lightweight to me is an absolute piece of piss. Like I could make lightweight this afternoon. Like I could go sit in the sauna for a bit and make
probably
lightweight.
not now, but
I could make it.
really.
Well, you can go back to the Nasser fight. Like all of that stuff you're going through. I got off 20 hours of international travel.
Yeah, which bloats you anyway.
Went straight to the PI, and I had actually made the weight within 2-3 hours of stepping off the plane. And then I just sat around waiting to step on the scale the next morning. It didn't take me that long. Like it's lightweight's like a piece of piss to me. Featherweight's just like you gotta. It's a proper cut. It's a cut that everyone else is doing.
Yeah.
So to go to featherweight, like what are you doing? It is what it is. It's for the advantage of it. It's capitalizing on an advantage that I'm not using at the moment. Like I'm just not using that advantage.
So are you a featherweight now, or are you a lightweight, or are you a what weight? In your mind now is the next fight, so I'm featherweight going forward.
To me, like I'm that's the weight class that I feel like, and that's what gets me most excited for the future is like that weight class. There's a lot of new guys. Like it's a new spin. Like I feel like everyone has seen me step on the scale at that weight, and now it's without question. Now I stepped on the scale. I made the weight. I did the next day, the following day, I did like a bunch of like power strength testing to see how I bounce back. The numbers of that are all good. Like that all came back like through and through. So it's
like comparable to lightweight. Like it's basically the same, just you had a bigger cut.
Yeah, I'm the same. I actually went bigger than I am at lightweight. So I dropped. Yeah, I cut down to.
Body's a mad thing, isn't it?
Yeah, cut down to feather, and I'm heavier as a featherweight than I am as a lightweight.
It's fucking weird, isn't it? It's just fucking. I mean, I believe it. It's just like that's.
Yeah, like so to me now, it's without question. Yeah. Like you stepped on the scale and you come in the next day and you perform.
Yeah.
Where you needed to be performing. Like I ticked absolutely all the boxes. So why not? Like the only thing that would not have me go to featherweight is like the opportunity. Like if they I went to the UFC, which I haven't even told the UFC yet.
I think they might have an idea.
Yeah, I was like, they were like, so what does the UFC say? I was like, I didn't tell them. I even seen my coaches do interviews, and they're like, so this big plan of you guys, and I was like, no, I didn't tell them either. It's just, they saw it on the internet. Yeah. They saw it on Instagram when I put it up, and that's that. But to me, it's it. The only thing that would, if like a shit opportunity came, if they came to me and they were like, oh, you fight this no-name unranked guy at featherweight, it's like,
which they won't do.
I can do that at
lightweight,
you know what I mean? And I can still compete and tick all the boxes there. But now that I've stepped on the scale, I don't see there's absolutely no reason why I wouldn't be competing in that weight class.
And you want the Korean Zombie for your first fight?
You asked me the fight that gets me the most excited. That's the fight that gets me the most excited.
It's a banger fight. It's one of those fights that I think when people hear like Hooker versus the Korean Zombie, that's basically fireworks all over it, right? And he's a legend of MMA. Like you go back to his Leonard Garcia fights where he's just insane and stuff. Like you love this.
Like that to me personally is like who I want to come. Like it's not because he's ranked here or there. It's like he's a big name guy that gets me excited. Like this is why I do the sport. I do the sport to entertain myself. I do the sport like I will do whatever excites me the most. Whatever's like exciting the most. Like sitting back at lightweight and fighting someone back here I never heard of. Like it's not exciting. Like if I don't want to take a fight unless it gets me somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that doesn't excite me. Like just to fight for the sake of fighting. Like doesn't get me out of bed in the morning to fight someone that's going to get me back in the mix. Like that is why I'm doing it.
I mean, I'd love to see the fight. The question, I remember last week when you said like you're doing a test cut and stuff, I immediately went like, well, what about Alex is the champion at a division? Like I know you and him are friends and stuff. Does that are you even thinking about titles, or are you just thinking like, look, I've done 155, there's fresh matchups for me down there, I'll go do that for a bit, and when the time comes, I'll make a decision on that.
It's like, well, it's pretty crazy that you're going to step on a scale and then people are already talking about, the title.
Well, let's make some headlines, man.
Yeah, but people are immediately jumping in. I haven't even fought in the. I haven't even had a fight in the weight class yet, and people are worried about fighting for the championship. Like I don't. Like anxiety lives in the future. Like you're worried about all of that. Like maybe people don't understand. Like I see what I see for Alex. Like is him even saying after his fight that he would go up and fight at lightweight and compete for that. Like I see him as maybe by the time I even reach that title opportunity, he's up and he's won the 55 title and now he's fighting Conor McGregor for $20 million as a double champ. Like this is what I see for him. This is what I want for him. Like I want the best for all of my teammates.
Right.
I feel like I have as much. There's Brad Riddell gonna fight and potentially like.
That's a banger of a fight. By the way,
the Fitzev, like you got as much chance of fighting him for the lightweight title as you do Alex for the featherweight title. Like you can't. It's a great problem to have.
Yeah.
Is that all your friends
are doing really well?
All your mates are doing incredibly, and you might be fighting them to be the best fighter on the planet. That's a good problem to have.
I think a lot of people, especially like who follow the sport and stuff, they kind of love the idea of the drama, right? It's always about the drama. So I think maybe people imagine that situation as a conflict. But as you say, like it doesn't. Not that we're talking about like you're going to fight them, but like you just said, it's a good thing to see your friends be successful and you be successful and you're all successful. That's like another way to look at it.
You can't you're looking at it as like people are looking at it as like a negative thing. To me, it's not a negative thing. Like I know what my friends are capable of. I know what Alex is capable of. He's very capable of beating Max Holloway again, and then who?
Yeah.
Then who does he fight? Then he can go up and fight for the lightweight title or fight these big name guys, get money fights, get millions of dollars. Like that's what I want for him. I want him to be like more successful than just the featherweight champion. I see him as
the UFC are going to do that thing they did with Cyril and Francis, where they're going to try and have you walk past and blank him. You know, you see that video?
Yeah, but we'll just be like, hey,
Shoeies,
let's go.
Yeah, but that's cool. I
don't think it's going to be like that.
That was weird, wasn't it? I felt so bad for Cyril. He looked so hurt when Francis just marched past him.
They're fighting. Like it is what it is. Like they're fighting. You can't. What do you want them to be best mates? Like everyone views the sport in a different way. Like some people when you match them up take it like real serious.
Yeah.
Some people are just
like the Diaz's. Like
this guy is like this guy wants to kill me. Like I hate this guy. Like some people need to build it up to that. To me, it's sport. To me, it's competition. It's not. This is not. Yeah, it's not real beef. Like you argue with these guys and this and that, but it's not like a real problem you have with a guy.
Where you're going to walk outside to fight them.
Yeah. If I had a real problem with a guy, you think I'm going to stand across with like Sean Shelby blocking me, like or Dana White blocking me, like. I can get past him. Like, trust me. Like, if I want to hit you, I'll hit you. Like, if you really do something that gets me going, like, it's not like
I can
that.
imagine you being like a really nice guy to a point, and then just.
Oh, to a point, I go. Like,
yeah, I can see it. I can imagine. There's always like these sort of guys like yourself, Gaethje, you know, like these kind of almost unassuming guys, and then
because it's not
But
real
then imagine
beef.
being the
like we're
fucking-
having like a little bit of an argument. Like
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, we're having an argument on Twitter. Like,
But I always just
relax.
imagine being the drunken idiot who doesn't know who they are and like starting a problem and it's like not understanding the world of hurt you've just like allowed yourself to get into.
I'm actually like really, because I used to bounce for a couple of years like after, and I was good because I'm terrible on the piss. So like I give people like, I cut people like a lot of slack. You know what I mean? Because like I see a guy like just struggling to hold himself up, just like mouthing up like, oh,
Yeah.
gotta get you, and I'm
I've
just
been
like,
that guy.
yeah, and I'm like, I see myself in him, and I'm just like, go home, friend. Like, here's
I-
this taxi. You don't need this.
I
Go
was,
home, friend.
when I was like 18, I was at a club. This is a terrible story. I can't believe I'm saying this on camera. I was like 18 and I was that just like fucking like that. And then 4 bouncers came over. I'm like, you should leave. And I went, what the fuck are you going to do about it then? And he just grabbed me by the throat. We fell to the floor and I remember just being like, and I reached up and grabbed his balls and was like pulling on his nuts, and then they knocked me out.
That'll get you.
Yeah, that was a bad day.
I did one is like, I don't want to say the bar because then everyone will know. Well, yeah, same thing, like 18,
Yeah.
but there's like a long stairway to get to like the front of the club. Struggle Street to get to the top of these
Struggle
stairs,
Street.
like barely.
Well, head
like,
for the summit in the morning.
Yeah, like the bouncers must have watched me take 5 minutes to get up these stairs. Like I'm like barely holding it together, get to the top, and he's just like, nah. And I was standing there, and we're like, I thought we were like this far away, you know what I mean?
Yes.
But we're probably like this far away, and I was like, you can't come in, and I was just like, thought, man, I just walked up Mount Everest to get up here, like I'm not taking no for an answer. And I was like, oh, all right. And I went, elbow. Whoa.
No!
But I thought we were here, but we were like a meter and a half away from each other. So I like threw this elbow and was like, oh shit, like only missed by 4 feet. Yeah. And I missed the elbow and he must have just pushed me, and I went, went all the way down the stairs, and I was just like, oh, well, I deserve that.
Yeah. I was at a club and me and my mate had a falling out. I can't remember, but like probably over a bird. And I was like, right, I'm doing you for that. And then I threw like 10 punches, missed every single one. And then he was just like, what are you doing? And then the bouncer grabbed me. You know, I'm a little guy, so the bouncer could just basically carry me. And the whole time I was like, well, you fucking bullied at school, were you, you ginger prick? And he was just like, just look outside. He's like, no, you're not coming back in. I was like, well, I could assume that, couldn't I? Yeah.
My favorite trick I used to do, because I obviously, once you are a drunk person, you understand
you
that.
get it.
I just walk up to them. It's like a nightclub, so it's obviously music. It's like real loud. I go up to someone and I just like a smile on the face. You just tap them and be like, and they're like, what? You go, the guy goes, huh? And you go, oh, follow me. The guy walks outside, he follows, he walks outside, and you go, yeah, you're too drunk, you can't come in here, bud.
Genius.
And he's like, no, I'm not going in. Oh shit, I'm outside.
Yeah, I've done
And
that.
you go, sorry, but I can't come in.
I was in Florida with a mate, and we were just hammered. And we're walking down this big long hallway to get from like the bar to the dance floor. And it's like, I'm holding him with one arm, holding myself up with the wall. And we got to the entrance to the dance floor, and right next to it's the door to outside. And the bouncer went, this way, lads, VIP tonight. And we were like, oh, thanks. Just walked straight outside. I was like, turned on.
It's the best
I
trick.
turned to Mark, I was like, are we outside? He was like, I think so. And he,
You can't, I love it. You can't kick me out. They're like, probably outside.
Yeah.
They're like,
and once you're out, you can't get back in.
yeah, you know.
Yeah, that's at least I've had those moments where if you get kicked out like that, if it's like a big scuffle, then you might be like, no, I'm getting back in now. But if you've been like kicked out like that, you're kind of like, okay.
You're already out.
Yeah,
you know
like,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Like trying to get through the gate.
In England, though, the worst thing is that in smaller towns, not in London, but in small towns, like they all talk to each other. So if you get kicked out of one place, you can't get in anywhere else because they're like, didn't you just get kicked out of there? Like,
if it's like the same security company, like then you will. But a lot of the security companies, there's not much you can do about it.
I know.
I know in like Australia, they'll scan your ID and like because you have to like scan your driver's license or whatever it is to get into the club. So they'll like blacklist you, or they blacklist people from the CBD. So you'll get. If you've got like an assault charge or something like that, they'll actually just ban you from coming into the city. Like you can't get into any bar in the city.
They did that for one area of the city in Canterbury where I grew up. Was like it's like a posh bit, and they just like where all the nice shops are. You couldn't walk into that bit, but you could walk everywhere. It was fucking weird.
Yeah, it's a good idea because repeat offenders are repeat offenders. Like like bouncing, I would have the same guys. I would have a guy that like tried to tee off on me like the week before, walk up and be like, "Hey, brother, how you going?" And you just be like, "Dickhead, you suck." You're like, "Do you not remember last week?" And they just be like, "No, like what did I do?"
I got kicked out, and I bought. I don't know why I did this. I thought like, I know what will help, what will patch this relationship up. I'll buy the bouncer a Red Bull, and I went and I was like, "Here you go, mate," and he went. You're not coming in though. And I was like, what? I got you a Red Bull. He took it. Yeah, he took it. Yeah, he did take it. Yeah, when you're a bouncer, I wonder if you ever encountered this. Like, drinking age is 18 in the UK.
Yeah, same.
So we would scan our passports, find a 0 on it, cut out the 0, and then glue it onto the 91, so it said 1990, and then we'd colour it in a bit green. And we did that, and worked really well. And then one day he just caught the light, and he just went, "What the fuck?" And he was like, "Oh, Errol, look what the cunts are doing now." And he scratched it off, and I was like, "Can I have my passport back, please?"
Some are greater than these. Some were like, some of the bouncers I work with were just, I was terrible. I just like look at the picture and just be like, yeah. I just expected no one's ever going to hand me an ID that says they're 17. Like that's what I just assumed.
To be honest, my maths is so terrible that even if they did, I'd be like, saying you get.
I think when I was bouncing and I got like 1998 or something, I was like, yeah, I quit. I was like, mate, they're getting too young now. I'm out.
Like, oh man, I hate it when you hear people are born in a certain year. You're like, oh, that's young, and then you realise like, oh, they're in clubs.
Man,
now.
most of the guys I work with, they're like, when someone hands me ID and it says 2000 on it, like I'm out. I'm
it's so bad.
I can't do it anymore.
Yeah. Did you watch the fights last week? I mean, we're getting this back.
I encountered the exact same problem. Did you send me a link?
No, I didn't send you a link.
You didn't send me a link.
To be honest, I did you a favour. There weren't that many bangers.
Oh, yeah. Well, as you know, I've been training at like Syndicate. So maybe we're just gonna pretend. I watched all the Syndicate guys.
Well, I'll say Davey Grant versus Adrian Yanez was a good fight. Yeah. I think both of those. That division is unbelievable.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Every bantamweight fight these days seems like you've got like Marab and people like that who are down at the bottom of the top 10. It's just like fuck. You can put any of them against any of them. You know.
For sure.
Thank God you're not getting down that low.
35, we're joking. We're like sitting in the sauna like, this is easy.
Yeah, fuck,
this is easy. Oh, 35.
Peter Yan, here I come.
But a lot of people are like, I don't know if Dan's joking or not because he is pretty crazy.
You are like the sort of guy where you just never know where you are. You can literally just never know what you're thinking.
Oh, my mind is like crazy. It's like whatever, if I get something in my head and I get stuck to it, like
I would say you're a stubborn person.
Pretty hard to deviate. Yeah. Pretty hard to deviate from the plan.
I saw it. There's old footage of Volkanovski and Peter Yan sparring way back in the day. I'd like to see that fight. Peter Yan's pretty good.
He's a gun. Yeah, I'm not sure if those two. Nah, Alex is a big dude.
Yeah, Peter would have to move up.
Alex is a big guy. I don't think people realize like how heavy that boy is. Like, it's a big fella.
Do you miss home yet? So let's back onto this featherweight talk, or even just the next fight. When's the plan? Are you going to just take a little bit of time off, get home, get resituated back in New Zealand, and then start looking at fights, or do you have a date in mind, or what?
Yeah, like. Moving forward, and that's part of the plan. The featherweight thing is like you're ticking all the boxes.
Right.
Like at featherweight, I cannot cut any corners. At lightweight, I can get away with having the cake at the party and a couple of beers and stuff like that. Like it's when you do that cut, it's just I don't know if it just makes like a mental shift. like the diet and anticipating and mentally preparing.
It's a level of hunger as well, right?
It's a level of hunger that it brings yourself to, and it's like that would be difficult for a lot of other people. But I don't know. It's like, to me, it's not difficult. The diet, the weight cut, things like that.
I can imagine if you have a date in mind, a target in mind, I can see you getting fixated and being like, right, I do this to get to that point, you know?
For sure, and man, trust me, if I go into a fight at featherweight against one of those guys in the top 10, like I have to have every single duck I have in a row. Like I have to tick and cross every box. Like everything has to be covered. And what I need to do now is not cut any corners and not muck. I feel like I've had my fun at lightweight flying in the day before and taking this short notice and having like
but
a muck around.
Don't you think, so let me ask you this actually out of curiosity. I feel like you were always like quite liked by fans, but I feel like since maybe, for me personally, since the Chandler fight, I feel like you've gone from like, oh, I like Dan Hooker, like I feel like you're one of the fans' favourites now, you know?
But it comes down to what do you want to be known as?
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? Do you want to be known as a guy that people like and is like fun and does this kind of stuff, or do you want to be known as the best fighter in the world?
Well, that's why I never got.
It's not. You don't want to. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to just be a fan favorite fighter. It's not. It's not.
Well, yeah. So Dan Hooker says, "Fuck you." All right. He doesn't want your support.
You just derailed my. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just repeating
what he said.
You want to be known as the best guy in the world. You don't want to be known as a guy that fights just for fun.
That's why I didn't understand. I saw like the people giving off about you going back to featherweight. Like, okay, so you've just suffered a couple of losses at 155. So you want to obviously try and change something, get back in the game and get to the title. So isn't that what we want from fighters? That they want to be the best?
100%. But don't get me wrong. Like, I understand that in the last year of competing, like there was some definite, like some roadblocks and challenges associated with that. And had there not been there, the results of those fights, I understand that would be different. But that's not the reality of the situation. The fact of the situation is now that there's 3 guys in the top 5 that I've got losses against. So for me to get myself into title contention, it's going to be very difficult until the landscape of that top 5 changes. So then what do I do for the next year or so? Just float around the top 10, fighting backwards for the next year like that? That doesn't excite me.
Right.
When I can go down to a weight class which I feel very comfortable competing in, which I feel like I have a lot of significant advantages competing in, get a win or 2 and be right in back in the mix like that excites me. That excites me. Yeah. Gatekeeping the top 10 does not excite me. That's not a position that I feel like I should be competing in.
I feel like fans should respect that self-awareness. You know, like I think
that's the facts of the situation. Yeah. That's not even. Yeah, I'm not. Yeah. You can't. I'm not just gonna sit there and be like, well, if I had a coach, or well, if I had trained for that fight, like that's not the fact of the situation. Right, the result is the result, and you have to adjust and move with the outcome of the situation, which is it didn't go your way.
So when though? I forgot I even asked that because
we got derailed. Man, get back to New Zealand. I'm back in New Zealand in January. Put a couple of months of work in with the team. So New Zealand just announced as well, like the end of the situation's in sight. I think through March, April.
They let you back in, but they took your Instagram. That's what happened. That's why
that might have happened. I don't know what might happen on my Instagram. People, a lot of people were messaging me and they're like, something's. What are you gonna do? And I'm just like, the internet has it now.
It's like the Hangover, Bangkok has it now.
People are like, are you like panicking? I'm like, looks like I'm just not on Instagram anymore by the looks of things. They're like, you're gonna try and get it back? I'm like, I don't understand this computer stuff. I was like, I tried to go on and I'm just like, yeah. I'm not going to stress about the situation.
So March, April-ish, right?
March, April, you can fly internationally back into New Zealand.
Oh, so that's the next thing.
No MIQ, which means that from March, April, I have all my coaching staff. I have a full camp of training, and then I'm competing at a weight class that I feel very comfortable competing at. So I feel like the position I'm in now, I made it through those times. I made it through the pandemic times. Had some fun. Got in there, competed, made some money. That's definitely a perk of the situation. A lot of people, if I would have played it safe, would have just sat back and maybe missed those kinds of opportunities.
Some people missed a year of their career. Some people literally missed
a lot of people did, and that's just something that I'm like not willing to do. Had I sat back and just turned that down, you're probably still sitting in the I think at the start of the pandemic, sitting number 5 in the world. Like, you sit back and just don't do it and turn these fights down and sit on your number. Like, that's just not the guy that I am. Like, I'm not gonna make any kind of apology for taking those risks that I took. I'm not gonna regret like any of those decisions.
It's question time, or questions I would like to ask, but I've got other people to ask. Oh, my mother called me while we were on fucking camera. Fuck off, Mum.
My dad would chin me for saying that.
Really? Oh, mate, don't even. That's another few stories for another time. Hey, Dan, this is from Dustin Stanley. Dan, is water wet, and what came first, the orange or the colour orange?
Where do you get these questions?
From the freaks online. Not freaks. Dustin, you're a lovely guy. I think because remember those 20 questions I would ask you, they're always a bit sort of weird.
Is water wet? Yeah, water's wet.
What came first, the orange or the colour orange?
What was the bro's name last week? This guy's trying to be...
Janindu's on here.
Janindu's
on it.
Janindu, this guy's Stan's trying to be Janindu, and you're just not.
Sorry,
you're just
man.
not, bud. What is wet?
Sam... I don't know, I can't pronounce that, so he said,
Dan.
Where'd
it go?
Sam...
You know what I mean? The guy has the time to message in with a question, you don't even have the time to read his name.
I'm sorry, Sam Adikari said, pound a yard glass for us next week, Dan. I forgot to tell you to do that. Question for you, I don't know if that's you or me, but I'll ask you because it amuses me more. How the fuck does John Morgan always get the first question at press conferences?
That's my guy.
John's a great guy.
Nah, he's a great guy.
Thank God I don't do pub talk with him. I'd be dead by now.
I've been drinking under the table.
Yeah. We were in Abu Dhabi in the fucking bubble, and we drank so much at the bar that when we got up to leave for the last time, the staff stood up and applauded as we walked out. That's honest to God.
They were like, we've never seen this before.
My God, Matt. We had a, they did it, swear to God, they did a drink special where it was, if you watch like a football, soccer match, for 90 minutes, you pay $20, you can drink all you want for 90 minutes. Yeah. And John's like, yeah, big guy, triple vodka over here. They're like, we don't do triples. He's like, oh, okay. Can I get 3 singles in 1 glass, please? He's been such a dick about it. Anyway, Justin DeGuide. Sorry, Brian. How did you get the nickname Hangman?
Checking people out. It's no real rocket science to it.
Just throwing them out?
Yeah, I used to like catch a lot of submissions coming up.
Question for Dan from a Kiwi, Tyrone Cox.
My God.
Can you pop a mean Manu?
If you see me, I just stepped on a scale of 60 kilos, but I'm not.
What is a Manu?
A bomb where you jump in the water.
Oh.
Do a bomb.
Where's that word come from?
A Manu.
All right. Question for next week. King Dome, don't think that's his real name. Can you describe some of the thoughts you have as you're standing up from your stool in between rounds and seeing your opponent across from you?
That depends how the fight is going.
Specifically the Dustin Poirier fight.
Oh, depends. I knew after that second round, I was like, all right. It's like 30 seconds left. I think I heard someone yell the timeout or whatever, and I was like, all right. Only trained for 3 weeks for this. I was like, I think I can get him out of here. I was like, I'm gonna go for it. And then just went like unloaded, like went for it, and then when like I heard the bell and I was like, I'm not gonna stop punching. Kept punching, but like Herb actually like grabbed me and pulled me back, and I was like, oh well. Just went back to the stool and I was sitting there. I was like, it's gonna be a long 15 minutes. Is all I'm gonna say.
And oh man, all right. Fuck, fair play to you, Dan. Eli Petit or Petit, who would win in a 3-rounder, Dana or Joe Rogan?
3-rounder. Joe's a black belt. Dana's a big boy. He can box too. I don't know. You'd have to side with the black belt.
Yeah,
right?
you would say. Caleb Taylor says, Dan, what was your yardie time and spillage?
I'm trying to think. It was a whole decade ago.
What the fuck is a yardie? This is some New Zealand.
Yard glass. You don't know what a yard
I know what a yard glass is, but do you guys all do it on your 18th birthday or something?
21.
Oh yeah, I think you told me that last week.
Yeah,
actually.
21. You do the yard.
I've done
glass.
one of those, and it was mostly over my fucking shirt and crotch by the end of it. You know, just like straight down.
Yeah, well, I can't remember the time. Definitely didn't win out of like my group.
Okay.
My group was pretty good.
And it's
I had a strong group of competitors. Definitely was middle of the road in my group.
And here's Janindu back for us again.
Back.
He's back.
He's back. That's my guy.
He said I did okay on his name pronunciation, and I haven't changed it at all. Sorry.
That is your name, Janindu.
Yeah. Who's going to win in an open weight MMA fight between Bruce Buffer and Rogan? Fucking everyone wants Rogan in fights. Rogan's going to win that.
I don't want to talk down on my guy Buff, you know.
I like
what I mean?
Buffer.
Like he's spent a lot of octagon time. He's been a lot of time in the octagon.
Good point.
If you tally up all his time standing in that octagon, it'd be hours.
Yeah.
He's got octagon.
I love
time
that in the Apex, even though there's no one in there, he absolutely gives it
goes
every
for it. He
time. I
goes for
love
Do
it.
you ever see me video the guy who's most impressive? I never even noticed him until we're at the Apex, so maybe there's less people I notice him. The guy that pulls the pins on the cage.
Oh, I feel exactly the same way. He's
It's like the bell will go. It's not even a second. Like
Yeah.
the guy like sprints up the stairs, bangs those pins out, opens the door, and holds fast. It's like the most. That guy.
Yeah. Do you reckon
I
he
need to know
warms
his
up
name.
in the back? Like,
He has to.
Dude,
He has to practice that.
It's because I would, the fear I would have been like, oh fuck, like getting caught. Like
He gets it so good. Like
Yeah.
that guy, head and shoulders.
performance of the night bonus for that guy.
2021 MVP of the Apex.
There you go. John Jones, Demetrius Johnson, pound for pound. Who's
Pound for pound is a completely irrelevant
yeah.
conversation I
Okay.
will not engage in. I refuse to engage. It doesn't make no sense.
Yeah.
The biggest guy will kick the shit out of the littlest guy.
It's the same
There's
thing.
no need for pound. The heavyweight champ will kick the shit out of every champ lower down than them.
And so
It's
on.
not a discussion. What are you going to do? Shrink a guy to fight another? What kind of conversation is this? It's a completely stupid conversation. No, Francis Ngannou right now will kick the shit out of everyone else in the world. That's what that belt means. It means he is the champion of all the other ones.
There you go. So you're moving up in weight to beat that guy.
Problem solved.
There you go. What's the best and worst gifts you got from fans?
I didn't want to say worst. You get, I don't know, they send a lot of the cards.
Oh yeah?
You send like a lot of the cards. I'm not very good at it, like sending them back and stuff.
I can't even imagine.
I got a
You're
lot
not
of
even good at
cards.
fucking emailing.
I got
back.
a lot of cards. I'm just like, oh, more cards. I got a lot of cards.
What's the best dish you can cook to impress someone?
Me. I'm not a bad cook. I'm not a terrible. If I can barbecue something,
I'm good at the crepes, you know. I can do a mean crepe.
do a good crepe.
That's my main move for the women. Like if I get them over, I'm like, oh, a bit of
Crepes
crepes,
for breakfast.
yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, cook them breakfast
They're,
too.
they're usually not there
You're
by
a good
breakfast.
man.
They're usually gone by breakfast.
There you go.
Well-
Is that your call or theirs?
Well, listen, after the tears subside, there's no reason to stay.
Oh,
Listen, 30 seconds of glory, 10 minutes of apologising. That's it's all good. Anyway,
couple of tears in their home.
yeah.
No crepes.
Were you a pro wrestling fan growing up?
Back in the day, Stone Cold Steve Austin, smashed the beers around the Rock.
Yeah.
Those are the boys.
Those are the two best.
It's a bit like family friendly these days. There's no like barbed wire covered
Yeah.
baseball bats.
Set people on fire. Let's give it.
I'm here for the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I paid money for this. Yeah.
I pay good money to see a man bleed. entertain me. Is all I'm asking.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. I'll give Michael Chandler credit when he fought Gaethje and walked past Media Row and went, "Are you not entertained?" I was like, "That's one of the coolest."
It was a good fight.
It was a good fight. Who's your top 3 favorite MMA fighters of all time?
Top 3. Anderson Silva. Tamines is up there. Like Tamines, Corey Sandhagen.
These are obscure choices. Anderson's not, but
Adrian Pang.
Okay, that's 4.
Australian. Oh,
It's just 3. And then the last question, because obviously it's the...
We've put them back on.
Yeah, we'll do it for this one. The Thanksgiving special edition of Pub Talk, which was mostly just... I really can't hear shit.
You can't hear them.
What are you thankful for?
I'm thankful for Walmart.
Okay.
I'm thankful
You're the only human in the world who's ever said that.
Cheap gas. These are my favorite things about America. Walmart, cheap gas, Target, Starbucks, Bud Light,
Miller Lite.
Miller Lite. And you switch it up.
I don't know. They just, at this point,
You know cheap gas is in this country?
Yeah, and it's like
people complain about gas
it's fucking
prices.
$4. Like,
I'm like,
nothing.
it's 4 times
easily insane.
more
Yeah.
expensive in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And you complain about it. Blows my mind.
You guys don't know how good it. And also, I'll say one thing extra.
And your cars are the size of houses.
Yeah.
What do you expect?
Yeah. What are you fucking moaning about? Get smaller cars. Get a fucking Prius or whatever they're called. I will say this as well. The popcorn sizes at the cinema here.
I've been good to the movies.
Oh, you can live in it.
Yeah, the drink
Their
size
small is
alone.
our large.
Yeah. I've noticed that with the drinks as well. You get like the...
Yeah. And they get free
It
refills.
doesn't even fit in the cup.
We don't get free refills
don't
at
get
restaurants.
free.
Yeah. You guys don't know how fucking good you have it. Be thankful. Right, and on that note,
Why'd you hold it up?
it's because it's Thanksgiving. Cheers, my man.
It's a wrap.